Good crafternoon. Happy Sunday crafternoon, everybody. Make sure I'm where I need to be. I always say that, right? Like I'm lost or something. Today is Sunday, the 31st of July. Holy moly. And it looks like I am a little crooked here, and I'm afraid every time I think I'm doing this correctly, then it goes the opposite way. Anyway, see, there we go. It's like a mirror image thing. I tell you, it messes me up every time. I would not be good with television, let's put it that way. So once again, my name, in fact, I don't know if I introduced myself in the first place. My name is Dawn Burgett, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am addicted to everything paper, ink, stamps, ribbons, you name it, embellishments, gotta have those, right? The bling bling. So today, this is what we're going to be doing, but I want to talk about a couple of things before we do get started today. Since it's the end of the month, I do have a host code for July. However, I want to make sure I can see your comments here. However, July ends today, right? So with that being said, I'll close this out later tonight, around 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. So if you do decide there's anything that you see today that you would like to grab up, because Sale A Bration is still on for another month. So if you'd like to take advantage of that and place an order with me, I truly appreciate it. This is the July host code that ends tonight. And then we have the August host code that I've just set up right before we hopped on here. And if you're shopping as of tomorrow, go ahead and use this code for August if you go ahead and shop with me, okay? Awesome, thank you. And I totally appreciate you guys supporting me. Honestly, I gotta tell you a little secret. I'm getting closer to earning the incentive trip, and every little bit helps. So if you'd like to help me out, I would just, yeah, you know, I love you guys, and I appreciate you just being here. Also, of course, right now we have the mini catalog that's active along with our annual catalog, and Sale A Bration is going on. Woo-woo! I love Sale A Bration because that means free products. We all love free, right? Hey, Evelyn, happy Sunday crafternoon to you. How are you? So with this Sale A Bration going on, and for those of you who might be new, for every 50 that you spend, or every 100, depending on if you're wanting to choose a level 1 or a level 2 product, we have items that you can choose for free along with your order. So it just makes it extra special when you order with me, which is pretty awesome, right? I do want to let you know of a couple of things that I've heard, and I need to confirm this for sure. Because my understanding was that during Sale A Bration, that these items were while supplies last. But I'm getting some conflicting information from the Stampin' Up! Demonstrator website that some things will be like returning, and that was not my understanding. So for now, we're going to at least say that they're not available, okay? And like I said, from my understanding, it's while supplies last. So from my understanding, we have already featured this together, Wonderful World, which is a stamp set and designer series paper, I believe has sold out. Oh my gosh. And then also these wonderful tree lot dies have also sold out. Now remember, I told you guys, go ahead, grab up those grab up the stamp set, because wasn't it we were waiting on the dies? No, we had the dies, we were waiting on the stamp set. Oh, I'm confused. Anyway, so I said, go ahead, grab up these dies, because I know the stamp set, which is in the mini catalog, would become available once again, which it has. But in the process of that, I believe that these are now gone. Ah! They're so cute. Like, I love the little camper. And then the other thing that I believe is gone, of course, are these. Things are just disappearing, aren't they? This is why I say while supplies last, you guys. shop with me sooner than later if you want these things, right? And then also this awesome paper, which we've also featured as well. So it seems like all the things that I've already featured are the things that are like going missing, MIA, like gone, sold out, which is good, but wow. So the other items that are in here, if you want to grab them, make sure to do so. Now keep your eyes and ears posted, because on Tuesday, every Tuesday, Stampin' Up! Lets us know updates. Heads up, because I believe that they're going to be adding some things to Sale A Bration, since we are getting things that are selling out. And I believe it'll have to do with the annual catalog. So it's items that we already have, but if you don't already have them, then you'll be able to collect them. So that'd be awesome. So look for that on Tuesday. I'll post it in my newsletter and also on Facebook. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, if there's other things that are in here, like I said, shop fast and furious and get them before they disappear. So today, speaking of, we are going to go ahead and we are going to feature the 6x6 silver and gold designer series paper. And I believe that this is going to be something that's going to go fast if it hasn't already. I know I've gotten a few packs myself because I love it. But when you see it in here, it doesn't really look like much, right? I mean, to me, I was kind of like, eh. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to get myself one pack and see if I like it. So I went ahead. I did that. Hey, Kristen. Hi. How you doing? Happy Sunday afternoon. So I went ahead. I ordered some. And I want to show it to you guys. It is very pretty. So it's silver, dots, and stripes, if you want to call them stripes. It almost looks like fun, funky wire, right? And then also the gold dots and stripes. So I was a little perplexed as to what to do with this. And anyway, I did see some things that I really, really liked and on Pinterest, and I kind of tweaked them slightly and also borrowed things directly out of the catalog. I mean, why not? I case out of the catalog all the time. For me, the catalog is an inspiration book along with the catalog. So it serves a dual purpose. And I always say, if you're hung up on inspiration, grab the catalog and just make something directly out of that. That'll start getting those creative juices flowing at times. So anyway, this is what we're featuring today. And this is available with a $50 order before shipping and tax. So with that being said, we have some different techniques that we're going to be doing today. But before we do that, there are a couple things other than the stamping that I like to go through really quick. First of all, I want to remind you guys, I mean, look at that, right? Wow. Am I not professional or what? I'm kidding. Anyway, if you haven't done so and you're here, somehow you found me on Facebook on my business page, go ahead and hit the like button. Okay. I appreciate that. The more followers, the better, right? And then also join my community, which is the Dawn's Creative Chalet Paper Crafting Community on Facebook. I am also on YouTube, Dawn's Creative Chalet. You see like a trend here, right? And make sure to hit the bell and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Because the more subscribers I get, the more visibility that I get. And I appreciate you guys doing that. So anyway, go ahead and make sure to hit the bell. It will turn black. That makes sure that you'll get all the notifications every time I upload something onto YouTube. And then also, you'll want to dream with me on Pinterest. Go ahead and follow me. I'm under Dawn Bourget, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator on Pinterest. So go ahead and follow me there. So those are a few things to kind of stalk me if you like. Also, some upcoming things here at the chalet into August. I can't believe I'm saying August. It seems so hard to say. August. So August the 11th, I have my creative card class, and that's on a Thursday. And I offer 10 o'clock, 1 o'clock, or 6:30 in the evening. Just make sure that you RSVP by the 8th with prepayment. The class is free with a minimum order, which is pretty awesome, right? And of course, we still have Sale A Bration going on during August. So, wow, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Also into August on the 18th, I've bumped it up 1 week because I'm going to be gone the last week, which is the 4th Thursday of the month. That's when I normally do my product classes. But I bumped it up a week since I'll be gone to New Orleans for a Stampin' Up leadership event. So that's going to be a good time and very hot. So anyway, I've decided to do the Rustic Harvest product class. That's going to include some product in the class. So you'll get the Rustic Harvest DSP, the leaf labels, the amber gems, and some linen thread. And what I do is I cut from that. You get the rest of it. You get to take it home. The cards that we make 8 cards total. There's 2 each of 4 different designs. And they're duplicatable cards. So you can easily make them at home once you take your product home. So that's always a lot of fun. Also, the next day on Friday, July the 19th, we have our next Starbucks Coffee and a Card Sip and Stamp. So if you're local or somewhat local and you'd like to take a trip over to Ludington Starbucks, feel free. It is so much fun. And I did post the pictures of this last Friday when we were all there having a good time. And that'll be from noon till 2 on Friday, August 19th. So please put that on your calendar. I'd love to have you stop by. It's very casual. It's no RSVP. You just walk in, sit down, and we can visit and stamp. And if you want to purchase a coffee, you may, but that's not a requirement. And then as we get into September, I have a creative card class on September 9th. And a product-based class on Thursday, September 23rd. And we won't get into that too much, but scribble that on your calendar. So if you'd like to attend, I'd love to have you at the chalet. And then, of course, with Paper Pumpkin coming up, I'm going to get this stuff out of the way for a minute. We have some perks. Just to remind you once again that if you purchase a prepaid subscription with Paper Pumpkin, during Sale A Bration, which ends on August the 31st. And if you subscribe to a 3-month, 6-month, or 12-month, you can get a level 1 gift, 2 level 1s, or a level 1 level 2 as far as Sale A Bration products. Or if you purchase a 12-month, you can get 4 level 1s or 2 level 2s. And just to let you know that the August kit, I love pretty boxes. And check out the box. The box itself had me at hello, right? Like, I love sunflowers. That's one of my favorite flowers. It's just a very happy, cheerful flower, right? And I'm kind of into yellow lately. So anyway, Sweet Sunflowers is the August kit. And if you'd like to subscribe and get this particular kit, there's also, I think, going to be an extra something in it. I can't remember what it was. I think an extra ink spot. And gosh, what else was there? Sugar biscuit. No, it wasn't a sugar biscuit, but there was something, there's something else I believe that goes with it. That's a little extra something, or maybe I'm thinking about last month. I don't know. Anyway, nonetheless, it looks like a very cute kit. And subscribe by the 10th of August to get Sweet Sunflowers. All right, I think I covered everything that I wanted to cover. And, just a really quick sneak peek. So this will be our August creative card class, really quick, sneak. And then for the August 18th product class, it's going to be the Rustic Harvest. So we're now venturing into fall. I know I said the F word. Don't hate me. Don't unfriend me. Anyway, I love fall. I just don't like what comes after fall. So today, with the projects that we're going to be making, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. So if you guys are looking for like a quick Facebook Live, this isn't going to be it. Or if you are watching on replay, you can go ahead and fast forward all my gobbledygook and get right to the good stuff. So today we're going to be doing very little because I've colored a lot of it because I didn't want to keep you guys like watching me color this entire thing. But we're going to be doing just a quick demonstration of watercoloring because July, and I'm squeezing it under the gun, July is National Watercolor Month, I guess. And so we're going to demo just a quick sampling of that with our watercolor brushes. and also using our blends. We're also going to heat emboss today, which I don't think I've ever done on a Facebook Live. Woohoo, something new, right? And then we're also on this card going to stamp off. Do some stamp offing. Stamp offing? Is that a word? I don't know. Well, it is now. Anyway, on this card here. So, like I said, a little bit of everything today. So go ahead, and if you haven't already, grab a munchie, grab a beverage, kick back, relax, and we're going to be doing a little bit of stuff. And I also wanted to demonstrate with this paper that even though it's in Sale A Bration and we're gearing towards like the Christmas season, I know now I said the C word, right? I wanted to get you to visualize that it doesn't need to be just for Christmas, so to speak, that this is a fall card and here we are into midsummer and we're using it on a springy, summery kind of a card. So I just wanted to be, I don't know, a little bit of a mix of things that you can do with this. So don't think of these gold and silver as just like a holiday use, I guess, of the paper is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, with that being said, I think what we'll do first is our fall card here. And let's see here, let me grab all my goodies. It's so funny because I think I have everything strategically placed on my table. And then all of a sudden, everything's lost. Have you guys ever done that when you craft? It's like, really? Seriously? So with watercoloring on this card, we're going to use our Watercolor Painters. They come in a pack of 3. They're available in the annual catalog, and I cannot remember the cost of them. I did not do my homework as far as that goes. But it is a package of 3. And what's really cool about these, you can just use tap water. I don't know if you can see that it's filled. I just filled it a little bit ago with tap water from my kitchen sink. And then to get the water into these is just a little bit of a screw top lid. Go ahead, insert your water into the, what do you want to call it, like a vial, and then screw this little guy back together. And now you have instantly a watercolor brush. And depending on the amount of water that you give it, by squeezing it, that becomes this, oh my gosh, my dog, my dog is crying because somebody isn't home right now. And I'm chopped liver. Anyway, so depending on how hard you squeeze the brush, you'll see that the water will come out. You just want to be careful not give your paper too much water, especially if you are not using watercolor paper. And we are going to just use basic white cardstock today. And with that being said, you're not going to want to give it too much water, because when you do, what happens? Basic cardstock only can take so much water, and then it's like saying, help, don't give me any more, and it starts to pill, and that's not good. You want to use watercolor paper if you're going to watercolor, but with this we're using very little water on the paper, so I went ahead and I just used standard basic white cardstock with it. So with that being said, I'll show you the stamp set. This is found in the mini catalog, and it does come as a bundle if you'd like, and it has these great dies. Now, something about this that you may not have noticed in the mini catalog is that when you stamp the image, I want to show you guys this. I'm going to try not to rush, because sometimes I feel like I need to talk 100 miles a minute. But like I said, this is not for the faint of heart. This is going to be a longer Facebook Live. So anyway, with that being said, these are the dies that come with the stamp set. Very cool, because you can go ahead and cut out the entire image like so. They have this one, which I believe gives texture. It's really in there tight. To the die as well, but I didn't want to do that. I just yeah, see the little knobbies in there. Whoops, I'm sorry. There we go. It helps when I get it in the right area of the camera. And then this is a really cool die that I used, and I think I already cut it out. Yes, I did. So there are a couple sentiments, let me show you the stamp set again, where they are a little bit curved and they fit perfectly in here. And then we have the die that cuts it out. Ta-da! Just like that. The magic of TV, right? And then with that being said, so I showed you the outline, but what's really cool about this as well, you can use the dies individually. Now, I did not actually, I know that this is done, so forgive me, but somehow this I think fits, like all these bits and pieces fit different parts. Whoops, let me see here. There's this one. Oh, wait. Hold the phone, Maynard. I think it's this one. Yeah, duh, Dawn. Okay, so when you use this die, I knew that there was, I thought, yeah, it can't be that complicated, Dawn. So when you put this die down, it's going to cut out separate images. So it's going to cut out this, it's going to cut out this, this, and this. So if you just wanted to use a piece of it and then save another piece of that image for later, you could. Because this could be fall, this could be Christmas, right? And this could also be Christmas or fall, depending on how you color it. So that is, I just thought it was really, really clever. And I know it's not, like, it doesn't jump out at you, so to speak. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna show that. So anyway, I just thought that was really clever. We're gonna use the entire piece together, okay? Alrighty, so with that being said, let's go ahead and put all these bits out of the way. And we are going to watercolor and color. But see, I promised you that I wouldn't like forever color. We're going to use pumpkin pie. These are the blends. And this is Sweet Sorbet, which is one of the new in colors. Let me scoot it over so you can see everything. And then also Crumb Cake. And this is, I think, Daffodil Delight. Yeah, okay. So we have those 4 colors for the blend. So I used blends for most of it. And then I did use, oh, and here's the color lifter, because I thought that would be handy to have. And then, because we do not have blends in Garden Green, I grabbed this guy for the leaves. So we're gonna go ahead and do that first. I'm gonna get those out of the way so I don't have a mishap. And when you watercolor, like I always say, less is more, right? Because you can always add color, but you can't take color away. So with that being said, I went ahead and I saved these leaves right here to color. You can see I've already done most of them because I thought, oh boy, if I sit there and color that whole image, everybody's gonna be like, seriously, Dawn? Like, are you gonna keep me here for 5 hours? No, I wouldn't do that to you. I love hanging with you, but I know that there are some other fun things you would like to do on your Sunday afternoon. So I wanna go ahead and just add the darker color, and then without adding any more ink, I'm gonna go in. I'm not even squeezing the brush, and it's just dispersing just enough water to color it up. And it's not perfect, and I don't want it to be perfect. I kind of want it a little bit out of the lines because I want it to be that watercolor look, right? And it's handmade. I mean, seriously. So there you go. So that's just a quick 101 on watercoloring with a water brush. I love these things, and if there's a day where I have that I just want to relax a little bit, I will do watercoloring. And then just to, of course, they're going to get stained, not a big deal. And if you just squeeze it and rub it on a paper towel, it comes clean and you can just use it. That's what I do with these guys. I don't wash them with soap or anything fancy like that. And where's the top to him? Let's go ahead and I keep the water right in these, but just to mention, you want to keep them upright, okay? If you do, just, I don't know. I've never had a problem with them leaking, but just in case. Okay, so that was watercoloring 101 really fast. And then we're gonna go ahead and color, let's see, what did I not color? The berries yet, so we'll go ahead and color the berries. I'm gonna use the lighter color on the top. These little berries are really cute. I think those were the only berries I had to color yet, and then the darker on the bottom. See, I'm trying to do shading, but honestly, I am not very good at the whole shading thing. Some people, they just have a knack for it. I do not. I want to make sure, yeah, you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, good deal. Good deal. And then the last thing, let's see here. Oh, want to color the acorn. Whoops. And for those of you who are newer to this whole world of stamping blends, they are alcohol-based markers, so they do dry quickly, unlike a water-based marker. Also, they blend really well on our basic white and also our very vanilla. They just move smoothly. I don't know what it is about the coating, I want to call it. That's the only thing I can, I don't know what else to call it. That's on our basic white and our very vanilla, that it just really moves smoothly, and also on our envelopes. I know, of all things, our envelopes, but yeah. Our envelopes, by the way, are awesome. If you guys are buying cheap envelopes, stop. Our envelopes are so good at taking the ink. And of course, we don't want to send naked envelopes, right? That's not good. We want to pretty them up. And I know, though, I'm guilty sometimes too of not always doing that. Oh, it's turning out so pretty, even though I have no idea what I'm doing when I color. I fake it. All right, we're gonna add a little bit of the pumpkin pie, right? Yeah, pumpkin pie. I forget what I'm doing. I'm getting in my zone. I also kind of follow the lines in the stamp, so to speak. It makes it a little bit easier, even though I really don't do a lot of this. There we go. Oh, that's so pretty, right? Makes them kind of pop, come to life. Okay, and I think we're done coloring. See, wasn't so bad after all. And then what I'm gonna do is drop my dies. Did you guys hear that? One of them just fell on the floor. I'll get it later. You know, the fun thing about Facebook Lives is after I'm done, like trying to put everything away, it's like a tornado came through my room. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is run this guy through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. I normally just do this ahead of time, but I always tell myself I really should show this now and then. This is sticky tape, Post-it note tape. I didn't know that they made this stuff, just to kind of help the die so it doesn't scoot around. So I stick it down, run it through. And ta-da, it's now cut. And there we are. Sweet. I just love this image. I think it's really pretty. And again, I love the fact that it is very versatile. All right. And then let's see here, get my other parts. So I cut a piece of basic white thick cardstock at 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it at 5 1/2. And then I cut this piece of the gold striped paper from that DSP pack at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm going to cover the entire front. And when I laid this down on here, like so. I was like, that's really pretty, but I really wanted a little extra something. So I always go to Pool Party for like soft backgrounds to kind of fill it in so it's not just stark white. I want to make sure I'm seeing everybody's comments, so I'm gonna make sure my iPad is going. There we go. There we go. Now I can see you guys. I'm going to take a blending brush. The thing that I couldn't think of last week. You know, that thing. Oh boy. So anyway, I just want to give it a soft background like I did on this one. So we're going to go ahead and give it a little bit of ink. And I always say, don't be afraid to push down on this guy onto the ink pad. Make sure you do get some ink on it. If you just sit here and do this, that is not going to do anything. You need to give it a little bit of muscle. Make sure you get that ink on there. And I always say, start from the middle, light pressure, and work your way outward. If you do press, if you press hard on this, this is good. If you press hard on here, when you're blending, that is not so good. It can leave like streak marks. Just, it leaves swirly things. There we go, swirly things. That's another new technical term in Dawn's world. Swirly things, yes. So we're gonna go ahead and color this up. I'm gonna do a little bit more. Oh, that's so pretty. It'll look better in a minute, I promise. Whoops, I almost bent my paper. Did you guys see that? Okay, and put that aside. We're gonna add this with dimensionals because you know, in my world, everything has to have a dimensional and bling. Not or, and. Okay. And let's see here. Oh, I'm almost down to my crust. You guys are like, what is she talking about? I don't see any bread on the table. This is my dimensional crust. And for those who are new, you can use this. You just cut it to the size you want. In fact, this is perfect because I love using this side and this side for like the sentiments because it fits perfectly underneath my usual 1/2 inch for sentiments on my card when I cut down my paper. All right, I'm gonna take these little guys off so I can find them all over the floor later, because that's what we do when we stamp and make a mess, right? Whoops. And one more. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, put that on the front of the card. See, it just gives a little extra something there. And then for this guy, I decided to use a different sentiment. This one was sending many thanks, and this one says, happy thoughts of you. I really thought that was really a nice sentiment. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just use my green glue. Say it with me, that's not green. Oh my goodness sakes, I'm so predictable, aren't I? All right, so that's the front of that. And then we're gonna, oh, actually I'm gonna use that again. And we're gonna put some on the, maybe. Come on, little guy, work for me. There we go. And put some on the back. The nice thing about this glue, even though I always say I'm a hot mess when I use it, is that there's some work time with it. So if your paper isn't aligned perfectly where you want it, there is a little bit of give with that before the glue sets, which is a good thing, especially with me. Anyway, that looks pretty darn good. Oops, I forgot, we need to add. So I thought these went perfectly with the paper. These are in the mini catalog, and they're the red and green adhesive backed pearls. Although, here's the green, you can't see the red, so we're gonna open this up just so I can prove that there is red in here. Because at first when I got these, I was like, there's no red in there. Well, there is. They're just hiding underneath. Ta-da. All right, I need my Picket tool. which wandered off on me temporarily. And we are going to add these gold little guys right here. I just thought that that would be a nice addition because even though they're gold, still kind of fall-ish, right? And we're going to add one more because I do threes. What do they say? Threes are more appealing to the eye. So that is card number 1. So what do you guys think of that? Give me some hearts, likes, whatever you like. Anyway, so that is card 1. For card number 2, we're going to use a couple different things. And you're like, oh, sure, Dawn, of course you would. So for this card, and where did I put, there it is. So where did I put the finished card? There we go. So for this card here, for the sentiment, I used Brightest Glow. This is in the mini catalog. It does come with dies for your die cut machine. And I've already, by the way, oh, I did stamp it too. So I stamped and die cut. So you guys can see what this particular die, I love it, does. It does the hokey pokey hole thing and the stitching all at once. Pretty cool. I know you're laughing at me. I can see you laughing. It's okay. And then also I use the Christmas lights. This is like a double bundle. Say that 10 times fast. That is also in the mini. So these two kind of work together, but you can purchase them separately. And this too comes with dies. I want to show you these. They are super cool. So they do the piercing. I know that's the correct word, piercing, along with cutting. So if you wanted to make like luminaries or something like that, you can. I think that that would be really cool. Hey, Patty. Hi. I think I just happened to see you pop on. And that type of thing. Or you can just do the outlining shapes, which is what we are going to do. So I did take this die out of there. So if you're like, well, what happened to the tree? That's because I confiscated it temporarily. I love this right here as well. I think that that is really cute and pretty because it jives with these. How cool is that, right? Okay. And then also, I also used these. Now, last week, I had a couple of you say, how did I miss these in the catalog? And that is because they're a standalone set of dies in the annual catalog. And they're the what are they called? Deckled rectangle dies. I love these. I love that it does this like, almost like a ripped paper edging, but yet you don't have to do the work. Isn't that cool? So what I did do, and I cut out one already because I didn't want to take up a lot of time. I think I used the third one in for the inside. Yep, it was the third one in from the outside. So yeah, okie dokie. Let's go ahead, we'll get started. So first of all, I want to go ahead and just, oh, by the way, this is Cherry Cobbler, 4 1/4 by 11, score at 5.5. Sorry about that, almost forgot. I'm going to take some seal adhesive and we're going to go ahead and put this down. This is going to be like our background of our card. And I almost thought about using the blending brushes and maybe doing like a yellow background so it looks like the tree is glowing. And then I thought, well, nah, I don't know. Then I decided not to. You know how that goes. So for this, we have a choice. I'm going to have you guys vote, okay? Hi, Gail. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Happy Sunday afternoon. So with this is the side. In fact, I forgot to pull out the paper. But anyway, this is part of that suite of product in the mini. Let's just show you guys this because we have the time to do that, right? Let's see here. Where is that? I should have marked it. Here we go. Make sure I'm showing everything here. So this is the paper right here that we are using. And I just thought maybe I'd flip it around, but check everything out here. Isn't it gorgeous? Like it's a beautiful, beautiful suite of product. I love it. And I can't wait to play some more with it. I just told myself, break it out, play with it. And this DSP that is in Sale A Bration just works perfectly. And honestly, I got my inspiration from this card right here. We're just using the rectangle dies instead of, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of that one. Shoot, anyway, diorama, the diorama dies. And they use that. And I was like, oh, that's cute, but let's try something just a tad different. So again, getting inspiration directly from the catalog. Alrighty. So let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And I put it on with dimensionals. So we're going to do the same with this. In fact, I tell you what, guys, let's do a quick vote before we do this. Would you prefer that we make the card with this side of the paper, or should we do the original that has the, if you can see it. In fact, let me do that. So this side that has the little gold star things on it, or this side that looks like Christmas lights. I'm trying to think of the word. Why does that always happen when I'm on live? Like I just go totally blank on everything. But anyway, which side do you guys prefer? This side or this side? I know that there's a proper word for this in photography where it's like the lights are kind of, what do you want to call it, blended? Original. Evelyn says original. Anybody else want to vote before we stick this down with dimensionals? I should have like the Jeopardy music going, right? That would be kind of fun. I wonder if Alexa, because I have her in here and I would kick her like she'd start. So I wonder if she has the Jeopardy music. Okay, we're going to go ahead. We'll do original. It looks like that's the vote that I see. Although Facebook, sometimes I don't see what you guys are commenting on. And I don't know why. But Facebook is funny and, you know, it is what it is. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to add a multitude of these little guys because, you know, I like them so much. And then we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of heat embossing. For those of you that maybe have never tried heat embossing before, or maybe haven't done it in a while. But I know when I first started stamping, heat embossing was like the ultimate wow when I tried it. It's so cool. It is a lot of fun, and I should do it more than I do it. I think mainly the reason why I don't heat emboss so much, and I'm going to admit this on a Facebook Live, as you guys know, I always say I'm a lazy stamper, and you need several things out in order to do heat embossing. So oh my goodness, I thought I peeled that one off. So I just get lazy getting all the stuff out, which is really not a big deal, but I don't know. You guys kind of get what I'm laying down, right? Okay, hopefully that's straight because it's on there. The other thing that I want to make sure I have, and I don't think I got it out. I forgot the ribbon. So this ribbon is beautiful. Check this out, you guys. Isn't that pretty? And it's more like a vanilla with the gold. And it's very soft pliable ribbon so you can make bows with it easily, which I love. Because there's some of our ribbon that I'm kind of like, I love it, but it's not as pliable as other ribbons are. This is just really, really soft and easy to make bows with. So we'll be using that in a minute, along with the sentiment. But for now, we're gonna set this aside and we're going to do a little bit of heat embossing. Are you ready? All right, so I need this, this particular stamp. And I'm using a larger block. This is an E, I think. Yep, an E-sized block. Make sure he's on there. And you'll notice I do not put my stickers on mine. I know I'm naughty. And then in the mini catalog, we have new toys. I'm so excited. Like I have been saying and saying and saying for those that come to stamp with me on a monthly basis, I have an old antique pink tray and it's for embossing. I've had it forever. And Stampin' Up! Had a black tray for a while and then they retired it. And it was before I got one because I thought, well, I don't really need one. I already have a tray. But what can I say? When you order the tray, you also get, whoops, I don't need that. We need to put that aside. When you order the tray, you also get a couple of little tools, which are very helpful. So there's some tweezers here. So in case you have a smaller piece to emboss, you do not want to burn your hands. That would be very bad. So this helps to hold the piece that you're embossing. And then also this little guy, because I've been asked, what is the brush for? That's for those miscellaneous random little bits of embossing powder that you don't want on your project before you start to heat emboss. So you can just brush them off. And then it also comes with this little embossing buddy. It's kind of like a chalk. It reminds me of when I was in gymnastics many moons ago in gymnastics, and when you put your hand in the chalk so it takes away like the moisture from your hands. And this basically does the same thing when you emboss. And when you apply it to your cardstock, it just helps to remove the static more than anything. But probably if there is a little bit of moisture, depending on where you live and the time of year, right? You just tap it lightly, run it over. Like I said, it's more of a static thing as well, I guess, just so that hopefully your embossing powder does not stick. So anyway, long story long, when you order the tray, you get all of the goods. So you get all of this, which is pretty awesome. And I think it's like $27, if I'm correct. Let me show you, by the way. I believe it's in the back of the book near the rustic harvest stuff. And it is, drum roll. Oh, let's see here. Okay, one more page. We're almost there. There we go. Right there. And it is number 3. And it is, yes, $27. So if you're wanting to start embossing, if you haven't dived into the heat embossing world, this is going to be very, very handy for you, because when you see what this does, because right now you're looking at it and you're like, okay, that's really weird looking. What do I do with it? You're going to see exactly why it's so handy. So I have my gold heat embossing powder. And the cool thing about this is it's magic. No, it really is not magic. What is heat embossing powder? It's basically very, very, very finely graded plastic. And then they put, depending on the color into it. Or actually, they probably put the color into it before they grate it like cheese, depending on the type of embossing powder that you use. Now, Stampin' Up! Carries just one type of embossing powder, which is more like a fine embossing powder. So you can see it's really ground up to just literally a powder. We also have, in the market in general, we have thick embossing powder. And when you buy thick embossing powder, they're larger granules of plastic and they can be dyed, whatever color. And that is for, how do I want to say it, less less detailed images. There we go. If that makes sense. Whereas with the embossing powder that we carry with Stampin' Up! Is a fine embossing powder, which is perfect for images that have a lot of stuff. You would not want to use a thick embossing powder on an image like this because it would look like a bunch of mismatch and it would all melt together. So what we're going to do with the heat tools, we're melting this to make it kind of like engraved or yeah, heat emboss. It's going to be embossed. So that is what basically embossing powder is. Hey, Lisa. Hello, sister. How you doing? So with that being said, when you do embossing, you need to have a Versamark pad. Now you can use something like our classic embossing or classic stamp pads, but to explain the difference between these guys, this is water-based. So what happens with water? It evaporates quickly, and that's what it's meant to do because when we stamp with our classic inks, we don't want it to sit there and take forever to dry. And of course, depending on humidity in your area, it can. So sometimes it's a good thing to take your heat tool and give it a little shot of heat to make sure that these dry. I've not had a problem, but some people do. And depending on the humidity in certain areas, you can have that happen. But anyway, so these are water-based. So if you want to emboss using these ink pads, you're gonna have to work really fast. It can be done, but you need to have all your stuff set, ready to go, heat it fast, okay? And I've gotten away with using these before. So just to mention that, because I've been asked that previously, well, can you use our classic ink pads? Sure, but you better work really fast, okay? Now, the Versamark pad is a clear ink. It's like not really invisible ink, but the cool thing about Versamark is, first of all, if you just like a watermark subtle background, this is excellent for that. It's kind of like, it's a watermark, you know, just like you see anywhere. It just leaves a nice, soft, subtle background of the stamp. Very cool for that. The other thing that this is used for, embossing. And why is it this pad that makes it so magical to emboss with? It has a glycerin base. And with that being said, basically, it stays sticky. Well, it's sticky, first of all, and it stays wetter longer. So it gives you a little bit of a playtime to put your embossing powder onto your project when you stamp with it. So with this pad, it's a lot of fun. It's just different. And it's not like you can use it like you can use these. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that that kind of helps determine why you would need this particular pad if you decide you want to do heat embossing. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to ink this guy up. Like I said, it's clear. It's not something that, so you really want to make sure that you're hitting all of the stamp. And then we're going to go ahead and, this is just a scrap piece of evening evergreen that I'm using. Just want to make sure it gets even pressure. And you're like, ooh, I don't even see anything. But you will. You will. Also, the tip of this will unscrew. So there's a hole there, and you'll see what we're going to do with that in a second. And taking the gold embossing powder. Watch this, you guys. This is the fun part. It's like the ooh, ah. All right. I like to go ahead, put it on heavy, because I can. The other thing that you don't want to do, see how that all just kind of slid off, all the other embossing powder that we didn't want in places, you know, other than the image. One thing you don't want to do, don't flick it. Do not be a flicker. When you flick it, you're taking everything that you just worked for right off. I know it's very tempting, but that is why we have this guy. So if you see something that's a little out of place, go ahead and just brush it off. Just don't flick it, because then you're going to flick off half of the embossing powder that you want on your cardstock. So with that being said, this handy little tool, so check it out. There we go. So I couldn't figure out why people were struggling. I should have actually used that embossing buddy on this, because it looks like the powder is sticking inside of this. This is the first time I've used the tray. But anyway, it's like a little funnel, which is kind of cool. I'm gonna tap it to come off into my wastebasket, but it's a great way to save on your powder. And it's so much easier than using a piece of paper and trying to make a funnel and making sure that what is left on the piece of paper remaining falls into the jar. Like, this is so much easier. I love it. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my silicone mat. This will withstand heat, so it will protect your surface when you're putting heat onto a surface. Because trust me, you don't want to ruin your table. Now, I could not find my Stampin' Up! Embossing heat embossing tool, so I grabbed the next best thing, the other heat embossing tool that I do have on hand. What I do like about this one is it is pretty quiet. I'll be able to talk over it while we're embossing. So with that being said, when you apply heat to your heat embossing, you just want to go ahead and make sure that it's an even amount of heat on the entire area that you want to have embossed. Does that make sense? And what's really cool about it is in a matter of a minute, all of this is gonna melt and the gold is gonna pop and it's gonna look really pretty. I don't know if you guys can see the change of the color of the embossing powder. But like I said, this was one of the first techniques that I learned when I started stamping, and I was just like in awe of the fact, oh no, wait a minute. Okay, I think I got it. Yeah, I was like, oh no, I think part of the image didn't, there we go. Just a minor freak out moment, ignore. But isn't that cool? It's so much fun to play. And I know I get asked sometimes, how do you know when it's done? You know it's done when it has changed color. Can you burn embossing powder? Yes, of course you can. I know this particular heat tool can reach up to 450 degrees. So even though it looks like a hair dryer, please do not use it on your scalp. It would really hurt. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead, and again, I'm gonna grab the good old Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we're gonna cut this guy out. And I would have done this in advance, but we did need to emboss it. So, but anyway, check this out, guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Especially on this evergreen, evening evergreen. It's so pretty, very elegant for sure. Go ahead, match up the die. Hold our breath. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna go ahead and again use this Post-it tape, which I'm really digging. And I use it over and over and over for a while before I even replace it. I just keep it on the side of my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, run it through. I hope that didn't jiggle the camera too much. You know, I didn't even think about that. Get you guys seasick or something. All right. And there we go. Christmas tree. Isn't that cool? So we're gonna go ahead and attach it with dimensionals. And I'm gonna have it, let's see here. Actually, I'm gonna move this guy. There we go. Because I'm gonna lean it into where the frame is, and the frame already has dimensionals on it. And if I put that dimensional there, it's gonna make my tree pop up kind of funky compared to the rest. We want him level. Level-headed tree, right? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and again peel the backings off of these dimensionals and stick this little guy right down. And put them on like so. And again, I had already stamped this and already die cut it. So that's a good thing, right? Saved a little bit of time. And what I'm going to do is put some seal adhesive on the back side of this so it's sticky. And then, oops, I got a dimensional that doesn't want to go into the wastebasket. Okay, let's go ahead and cut. I know, being wasteful, but because, you know, we're here, I just want to make sure we get this done. And where did my sample go? All right, we're going to go ahead, and I just like to put that adhesive on there to work with my ribbon. Oops. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. And then I'm going to put a little bit more. I should be doing this like this. There we go. Adhesive on there. This is so pretty. I'm going to go ahead and make the ends on an angle. That one's going to look just a little bit different than the other. And then I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back side of this. And there we go, card number 2. I like that one. I think it is so pretty, very, very elegant. And then we need one more thing. As you guys know, we need a little bit of, well, these aren't really blingy, but they're pretty. They're embellishments, and you know, what can I say? I like embellishments. I'll put a few of those on there. Like so. And there we go. Ta-da! Card number 2 is done. Yay. All right, let's do the last card. Get all my bits and pieces out here. We are going to use Sending Smiles. This is a set that is in the annual catalog, and it does also come with dies you can use with your die cut machine. And I'll show you those really quick. This is a fun set, and there's a lot of versatility with it. I love all the different sayings that you can add to this. So definitely a set that you'd want to have in your stash. Besides that, I love flowers. Flowers are happy, and other than, well, I guess you could do a masculine card with flowers, because there are guys that like flowers, right? But this covers a lot of different holidays or just some nice sentiments in general. And then these are the dies. So these 2 here are for the sentiments, and I've already cut that out. And then the sending, which you see here on the set, you can either stamp it by itself, you can stamp it and cut it out, the outline with this die here. It says sending. You can also use this die, which we're also going to use on the card, and I already cut it out, ran it through the stamping, cut, and emboss machine. Anyway, I ran that through already in white with also using Coastal Cabana. You'll see that in a minute. So you can layer these 2 together. And then it has dies for all the flowers in the stamp set, which is pretty cool. So again, whoops, you have a lot of options with it. Let's see here. So first of all, I did cut a piece. I love this color. It's such a happy color. It reminds me of going on vacation to like Greece or someplace like that, where the water is just beautiful. There you go. You can daydream this afternoon about going to Greece. Anyway, Coastal Cabana. I cut it 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it 4 1/4. And I need my bone folder because I didn't. I'm gonna go ahead and use that on this piece. So there we go. And then I cut a piece of basic white cardstock, 4 by 5 1/4. And we're just going to add this as a liner inside the card because that's what we do. And then this piece here, I put on kind of at an angle. This is from, I keep forgetting the name of this, DSP. It is from Pretty Prints. This is found in our annual catalog. And just to show you real quick, it is very pretty paper. And I'm so happy that I finally cut into it. I just love the colors. There's, I believe that's Blackberry Bliss. And I think that this is Calypso Coral. And this is Evening Evergreen. Isn't that gorgeous? I just love it. It reminds me of back when, okay, this is going to age me big time, but in Girl Scouts, and we used to do this technique, going out and picking some wildflowers and then pressing them in a book. Reminds me of that big time. Okay, anyway, we're going to go ahead. We're going to put this on kind of at an angle. I just wanted a little bit of it. I know you're going to say, Dawn, that's such a waste of paper, but you know what? They make paper every day. I can order more. That's what's so awesome about it. Because most of this is going to be covered because I did, well, I could have cut this down a little bit more, but I didn't. And I believe this is at 5 by 3 3/4 of an inch on this. So we're not going to attach that yet. In fact, I cut 2 of those. Oh, I know why. In case I made a boo-boo. Yeah. You know me, Girl Scout, being prepared. Now, I told you I cut these out. So this is Coastal Cabana, this is Basic White, and I used, I think it was last week, did I show you guys the adhesive sheets? So I used the adhesive sheets on this. So I made this entire thing into like a sticker, and if my fake nails will cooperate with me, aha, they knew I meant business. And you go ahead and peel that right off. And now this entire piece is like one big sticker, which makes it a little bit easier to work with this stuff. So that way your letters aren't gonna pop off if you don't have glue in all the proper places. All right, I'm gonna oops. And it is giving, thank goodness, because I can be a little kitty wampus on, yeah, there we go. That looks good. There's a little dot for the eye, but I lost it. So we're just gonna pretend that it's there. But anyway, isn't that cool? So now I don't have to worry about it coming off at all. There's adhesive on the entire word. Ta-da! Okay, so we're going to be using a lot of colors here. And just a little FYI, I'll show you this. This little guy right here, I have spent 2 hours looking for him. I got to tell you the story. It's quite funny. So I was just complaining by the fact that in this, it's this right here, this middle piece of the flower, so I could stamp the middle of the flowers, and I couldn't find it. So I grabbed my So Saffron from my pack of markers out just in case. And while I was, this is so funny. Now I had looked on the floor, on my sleeves, on the front of my shirt, on the table, on the back of the stamp set, because these little photopolymers, because this is a photopolymer set, or as I call them, clear stamps, they blend with my floor, they blend with my table, they blend with everything. So if you lose something, especially a smaller stamp, you could spend hours looking for it. So this afternoon, before I got on live, I wanted to make sure that I went ahead and had my Simply chamois set with water in it to clean my stamps. And when I went to open this in the bathroom to run this under the tap water, I find this little itty bitty stamp in the corner inside here. Now, I have no idea how it got inside of here, but nonetheless, I found him and I will not let him go. So I put him on a block immediately so I would not lose this. So always be careful of those little itty bitty stamps that are in your photopolymer stamp sets, because they can be lost super easily. Okay, we are going to use Pool Party, Pear Pizzazz, Highland Heather. I know there's a lot of colors, isn't there? Blushing Bride, the So Saffron, and Calypso Coral. Wow. We're not going to use them all at once, thank goodness. So let me go ahead and find the original. So this is the card we're going to make. And what we're going to do as a technique on this is stamp off, so that it's a lighter version of what you would normally stamp with your ink pad. So I brought in a piece of scrap paper, some grid paper, just to have it on hand to stamp off with. I want to make sure you guys are going to be able to see everything that I'm doing here. I got a lot going on. I have already run this through the Big Shot. This is that die that we'll put the sentiment onto, so I don't want to lose that little guy. And let's see, what else did I need? I think that was everything. Oh, a block would be nice. There we are. Okay, so I just decided, now there's a lot going on here, right? So I just decided to go ahead and pick a stamp and then work with it. And I just was trying to work in like a oval-ish design, and then put the sending and the sentiment in the middle of it, okay? So first of all, I guess we will start with this big guy. The big guy. And we're gonna put him on our block just like so. And this I used, I believe, Pool Party. I'm gonna move this up a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. We'll just stack those, there we go. All right, so I'm gonna use this bigger flower first, and after I ink it, I could normally just stamp on it, but I wanted a softer image of it. I wanted the whole thing to look a little softer. So after inking it, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp it once onto a scrap piece of paper, and we're gonna go ahead and stamp it onto the DSP. And I'm gonna do the same again. And we're gonna put this one here, and then stamp off again. We'll add that one right there. All right, I think I'm done with Pool Party. And do I need that? I don't think so. So we're gonna go ahead and clean this off real quick. So we got a lot going on here. And then the next, oops, the next stamp we'll do will be, let's see, how about this one? This is excessively big for the stamp that I really need, but what the heck, we're gonna use it anyway. And for this, I'm using the Highland Heather. And go ahead, stamp it, stamp off, and then we're gonna stamp that right there, and stamp off. And I think I'm gonna use this right here. Pretty. This one's going just a little different from my other, but that's okay, right? I haven't really looked to see if you guys were saying anything. I got so wrapped up in my stamping itself. If you guys have any questions on anything that I'm doing, go ahead, ask. I'll try to answer. Okay, then the next color, let's go ahead and use Blushing Bride. This is such a pretty soft pink. Go ahead, stamp it, stamp off, add one there, stamp off. Ooh, I got Starbucks delivery. Sweet. And then I'll put this one up here. Perfect. And let's see here. We'll go ahead and use this little guy. I thought I lost him too. I hate when that happens. I hate losing my stamps. Like, I'm very conscious of trying to put everything back in its home, just because, especially the photopolymers, They like to scoot away and get lost. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and stamp off. And put that there. Ooh, I had a little something on it. Stamp off. Put that there. I think we're good. Okay. So then, let's see. I used the leaf. Oops, I'm gonna wanna keep that open. This is Pear Pizzazz. And I just kind of, I don't know, placed them wherever. Just like they did in the book, in the catalog, they did the same thing. And at first I thought, well, that's kind of goofy. And then I thought, well, it's gonna blend in though, that's cool. Okay, that's good enough. And then I wanna use, I should take this plastic right out of here. I'm gonna use this one. See how those things they can just like jump and walk away. All right. And we are also going to use the, oh my goodness sakes, Calypso Coral. My goodness. I just like this little stamp. I think it's cute. Adds a little extra something. Put that there. That's good. How many of you have this set? I just love it. Let's see, put him back and go ahead and use this stamp. This is for the middle of the flowers, unlike the bigger flowers. So this will make more sense once you see me use it. And actually, I'm going to use this full strength because I really want those to pop. This is such a light yellow that I just want to make sure it will be seen. Isn't that cute? I love it. I love it. Okay, there we go. And then there's another itty bitty in the stamp set, which is this guy. He's even smaller. And let's see here. We're gonna add him on a couple of the other flowers with, again, the So Saffron. Add that there. And right there, right there. Oh, I see a flower I didn't get with the bigger. Oops, missed that one completely. That's okay. It's handmade. Okay, so I want to grab this one once again. Oh my gosh, that almost was a catastrophe. Oh dear. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Enough. Okay, isn't that cool? I love the colors in this. And it's basically all the Subtles family of color. Get rid of that. And let me see, is there a, there is birthday wishes. So I have a friend with an upcoming birthday. So we're going to go ahead and change up the sentiment slightly. All right. And using my Memento black ink pad, ink this little guy up and try to center him as best as possible on the piece that I die cut, since I think I only die cut one. Oh, that's perfect. I love it when things work out. All right. And then, where did my Sending Smiles go? Okay. Oh my goodness sakes. Seriously? Please don't tell me I've oh, there it is. Phew. All good. All right. For this, I want to pop them up with dimensionals, but I'm going to use the minis because I think that they're going to fit under here better than our regular size dimensionals. These are a fun size. You know, like the candy bars that are fun size? These are fun size too. And we'll put one, whoops, he's scooting all over. Put one there, and we'll put one there. I am just a dimensional fool. What can I say? Okay, and one up here. And I tell you what, one more here. I use a lot of dimensionals on the backs of things because I don't want it to, what's the word, concave once I put it in an envelope, because that would be bad, right? We don't want that to happen. So you think the backs of the other dimensionals go all over? Try these. These are even smaller. They stick to everything. They stick to the backs of your arms, on your chest, on the floor, on the bottoms of your shoes. So wherever you go around the house, all of a sudden you see this little trail of dimensional backings. Okay, there we go. Whoops, I need this again. And we're going to put a couple of these on the back of this. And let's see here, one more. All right. Awesome. We're on the home stretch, you guys. And I'm gonna set that on there like so. Oh, isn't that pretty? And then I'm also going to use these, the Fun Flower Resin Shapes. These are found in the annual catalog, and they're with the butterfly suite of product that I think I played with weeks back. But anyway, they have the Calypso Coral, the Daffodil Delight. I think this would be like a Highland Heather. And this, maybe Starry Sky and Parakeet Party. But we're gonna use the yellow because I just wanted more of a punch of color on this. I just thought it'd be fun to add more yellow. Can never add too much yellow. There we are. And we'll put one here. And we'll add one there. Oh, isn't that super cute? Like I said, I think it just gives it a little punch of color. And then what did I do with the rest of my card? Wow, I am like really seriously losing things today. Okay, found it. Saved by the bell. And now I need adhesive. And I'm gonna put this on straight-ish. So I could have actually have trimmed this down another 1/4 of an inch on either side so you could see more of that DSP behind it, but hey, it's all good. So we have this card, and then this card, and this card. So that was today's project using the silver and gold 6x6 designer series paper. It's a great pack, and I hope that I've given you a little bit of inspiration on how to use this, whether you use it as just a little bit of a pop of color, because gold and silver, they are color, right? Use it as an accent, I guess is more what I wanted to say. Or if you use as a full background, which I'm really loving. In fact, I forgot to bring in some cards to show you some additional inspiration. Oops, but I know I've kept you long enough. I appreciate you guys being here this afternoon. I think that this is a fun addition and a free product during Sale A Bration. It's a level 1 with a $50 minimum order. So once again, if you decide to start shopping with me tomorrow, that's the new host code for August. The other one will end tonight. So thanks again for being here with me this Sunday crafternoon. And if you do have any questions, I like to try to check comments later on in the day and answer, or just message me directly. And yeah, if you need anything, just let me know. Otherwise, thank you so much, you guys. I appreciate you. Have a great crafty week, and I will see you next Sunday for Sunday Crafternoon with Dawn at 1 p.m. Eastern Time right here. Have a great day. Bye-bye.